How this 13-year-old built a $1 million NFT empire, teen crypto genius revealed. Introduction. What were you doing when you were 13? Playing video games? Hanging out with friends? Well, while most kids his age were scrolling through social media or binge-watching cartoons, one 13-year-old boy was quietly building a digital empire, one NFT at a time. And today, that empire is worth over $1 million. Welcome to Bold Steps Forward, where we uncover the most inspiring, untold stories of real people making bold moves in the world of finance, tech, and entrepreneurship. If you're interested in digital innovation, cryptocurrency, or just love a good underdog story, you're in the right place. In this episode, we're diving into the incredible true story of a kid who turned digital doodles into blockchain gold. From a modest bedroom setup and an iPad, he created art that caught the attention of NFT collectors around the world. But this isn't just about making money. It's about vision, hustle, and the power of learning something new when the world says you're too young. You'll learn how he discovered NFTs at such a young age, the tools and platforms he used to launch his first collection, the strategies he used to grow an online community and attract buyers, and the secret mindset that turned his hobby into $1 million business. This isn't just a tech story. It's a story about possibility, about how the digital world is leveling the playing field for young creators who dare to dream bigger. So if you've ever doubted your own potential, or wondered if success is only for the grown-ups, think again. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Bold Steps Forward, and share this video with someone who needs a little push to chase their dream. Because this story might just be the spark they've been waiting for. Let's dive in and see how one 13-year-old broke the rules, beat the odds, and built a $1 million NFT empire before even starting high school. Chapter 1. Humble beginnings, the boy, the iPad, and a big imagination. Before the $1 million NFT sales and global headlines, there was just a kid, a cracked iPad, and an unstoppable curiosity. Meet Liam Thompson. Born and raised in a quiet suburb of Los Angeles, Liam didn't grow up with much. His parents were both public school teachers, hardworking, supportive, but by no means wealthy. At age 11, Liam was gifted a second-hand iPad for Christmas. Most kids might use it for YouTube or mobile games. Liam? He used it to draw. Every single day. I wasn't really into sports, he later shared in an online interview. But I loved creating weird little characters. Some were animals, some were robots. All of them had stories. From age 11 to 13, Liam filled his iPad gallery with hundreds of digital sketches, quirky creatures, futuristic cities, and hand-drawn emojis. He didn't think much of it. It was fun, it was creative, and most importantly, it felt like his own little world. A chance discovery, the world of NFTs. Everything changed one night when Liam stumbled across a YouTube video titled, "How I Made $10,000 Selling Digital Art with NFTs." He clicked out of curiosity, and by the end of the 8-minute video, he was hooked. What fascinated Liam wasn't just the money, it was the idea that his digital art could actually be owned by someone else through the blockchain. For someone who had never sold a single piece of art, the idea of minting a drawing and making it a unique, tradable asset was revolutionary. And so, his research began. At just 12 years old, Liam dove into the rabbit hole of blockchain technology, Ethereum, smart contracts, and NFT marketplaces. He watched hours of tutorials, read Reddit threads, and joined Discord groups full of adult developers and digital artists. At first, no one took him seriously, he was just the kid in the chat. But he didn't care. Every time someone said I was too young, I used that as fuel, Liam later said. He downloaded a free app called Procreate Pocket, started refining his style, and set a goal to launch his first NFT collection before his 13th birthday. The birth of PetBots. The concept for his first NFT project came from two things he loved: pets and robots. Combining these, he created a series of characters he called PetBots, adorable animal mecha hybrids, each with a name, personality, and backstory. Liam designed 100 unique PetBots. Each one had different attributes, color schemes, eyes, accessories, and power levels. He wrote fun bios for each character and designed them in a pixel art style to give them a nostalgic charm. He minted the collection on OpenSea, one of the largest NFT marketplaces, using his dad's Ethereum wallet, with parental supervision, of course. The total cost to list all 100 NFTs? Just under $40 in gas fees, which he paid for with his birthday money. Then came the waiting. The first sale. For the first 2 weeks, nothing happened. No likes, no shares, no sales. Liam posted on Reddit, Twitter, and a few NFT Discord servers. He wrote posts like, 13-year-old artist launches NFT collection, feedback welcome. At first, the replies were dismissive. Some laughed. Others accused him of faking his age for attention. But on the 18th day after launch, something amazing happened. A Twitter user with over 30,000 followers, known in the NFT community as CryptoDad, stumbled across Liam's page and retweeted it with the caption, "Just found this 13-year-old artist. His stuff has more soul than half the blue-chip NFTs out there. Respect." Within hours, Liam's OpenSea page lit up. He received dozens of messages, hundreds of likes, and, most importantly, his first sale. One of his PetBots, Bouncer Rex, sold for 0.25 ETH, roughly $800 at the time. Liam couldn't believe it. He'd just made more money than any allowance he'd ever received, in a single night. Going viral. That first sale opened the floodgates. The tweet from CryptoDad got picked up by several NFT influencers, leading to shout-outs, interviews, and YouTube reviews of the PetBots collection. Within 72 hours, Liam had sold out the entire 100-piece series. He earned around $40,000 in ETH, more money than most adults make in a year. But more than the money, what struck people was the heart behind the project. Each PetBot wasn't just a JPEG. It was a story, a character, a vision created by a kid who genuinely loved what he was doing. What made him stand out? There were thousands of NFT collections on OpenSea, but Liam stood out for one big reason: authenticity. He wasn't trying to copy trends or use flashy marketing. He wasn't using AI or mass generators. He was just a kid making art, and people connected with that. Buyers described the collection as wholesome, refreshingly human, and a reminder of what NFTs were meant to be: creativity on the blockchain. His age, far from being a disadvantage, became a strength. News outlets started calling. Liam did Zoom interviews with crypto podcasts. He was even featured in a TechCrunch article titled, "The NFT Prodigy, Meet the 13-year-old Who Outsold the Pros." In just 1 month, Liam went from a quiet art kid to a rising star in the NFT world. But this was just the beginning. In the next chapter, you'll discover how he scaled his success, built a thriving online community, and turned his passion into $1 million digital brand. Make sure you've hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What were you doing at 13? And what would your 13-year-old self create if nothing was holding you back? Chapter 2: Building Trust in a Skeptical Market. After the viral success of Liam's first NFT collection, most people assumed he had simply struck gold with beginner's luck. But behind the scenes, Liam was already working on his next move. He knew that selling out one collection didn't make him a long-term player in the NFT world. The real challenge wasn't launching a hit, it was building trust, credibility, and a lasting community in a highly skeptical and fast-moving market. At just 13, Liam faced two major hurdles. First, many buyers still questioned whether he had created the artwork himself. Second, the NFT market was beginning to saturate. Thousands of new collections were launching daily, many from influencers, celebrities, or well-funded crypto startups. To stand out again, Liam had to level up, not just as an artist, but as a strategist. From artist to community builder, Liam's first decision was to get closer to his audience. He realized that most successful NFT projects weren't just about cool art, they were about community. People didn't just want to buy images, they wanted to be part of something. So, Liam opened a Discord server dedicated to petbots. At first, it had only a handful of members, mostly early buyers and curious fans. But Liam showed up every day. He welcomed every new member personally, answered questions, shared behind-the-scenes sketches, and asked fans what kinds of petbots they wanted to see next. He even gave away a few limited-edition NFTs for free to loyal supporters. It wasn't long before the server grew from a dozen people to over 5,000 members. In the world of NFTs, engagement is everything. Liam's approach was simple but effective: make fans feel like co-creators. He let them vote on new features, submit ideas for characters, and even name some of the petbots in upcoming collections. This level of interaction turned buyers into believers. Instead of just flipping NFTs for profit, many holders began showcasing their petbots as digital badges of honor, professionalizing the brand. Around this time, Liam's parents stepped in to help manage the overwhelming amount of attention. They hired a lawyer to make sure Liam's earnings were properly handled and helped him register a company in his name, Petbot Labs Incorporated. With this structure in place, Liam was able to launch his second collection, Petbots: Evolution, a more advanced set of 500 characters with animated traits, custom music clips, and blockchain-locked rarity scores. The collection sold out in under 3 hours. This time, total revenue exceeded $300,000. More importantly, Liam proved that he wasn't just a one-hit wonder. He now had a brand, a community, and a growing reputation as a young creator who delivered value and stayed connected to his audience. Handling skepticism with transparency. Even with his growing success, Liam still had to manage doubt. Some people online accused him of being a front for adult artists or questioned whether his parents were running the show. Instead of ignoring the criticism, Liam faced it head-on. He created a short documentary-style video where he walked viewers through his process. He showed how he drew the petbots using Procreate, talked about his inspirations, and even shared time-lapse footage of his creative workflow. He also featured his parents, who confirmed that while they supported him, the ideas and execution were all his. This video became one of the most shared pieces of content in the NFT community that month. For many skeptics, it was the proof they needed. Liam wasn't just real, he was remarkably self-aware, articulate, and committed to his craft. Collaborations and expanding the universe. As Liam's influence grew, other NFT creators and brands began reaching out. A well-known NFT artist named Mondobot invited him to collaborate on a cross-collection project. where Liam's petbots would appear in a special edition of the Mondoverse game. The partnership introduced Liam to a new audience of collectors and gamers, and further established his place in the wider crypto ecosystem. He also launched limited edition merchandise, hoodies, stickers, and art prints that sold out within days. The earnings from this side project went toward funding a web-based interactive gallery for petbots, where fans could explore the universe, learn about each character's origin story, and even earn NFT rewards by solving puzzles and quests. Liam had successfully expanded from an artist into a full-fledged brand builder, turning sales into sustainability. By the time Liam turned 14, his total NFT earnings exceeded $1 million. But he wasn't interested in cashing out and disappearing. Instead, he announced something unexpected. He would reserve 25% of all future petbot profits to fund a scholarship program for young digital artists. His goal? To help other kids like him access tools, mentorship, and exposure in the world of Web3. This decision made headlines again and solidified his image as more than a viral success. He was becoming a leader in the NFT youth movement. The blueprint of a young visionary. Looking back, it's clear that Liam's rise wasn't just about talent. It was a masterclass in authenticity, storytelling, and strategic thinking. He built trust in an industry filled with scams. He created value while others chased hype. And he nurtured a real community when so many others treated buyers as numbers. Liam's journey shows us that even in a market driven by technology and speculation, human connection and creativity still matter most. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Liam turned his early success into a scalable digital empire and the mistakes he avoided that most adult entrepreneurs still struggle with. If you're finding value in this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Bold Steps Forward, and share it with someone who dreams of building something meaningful, no matter their age. Chapter 3: Scaling the Empire, Systems, Strategy, and the Mindset of a Young CEO. Liam had proven that a 13-year-old could launch and sell out multiple NFT collections. But to move from early success to long-term sustainability, he had to start thinking like a CEO. This chapter dives into how Liam scaled his million-dollar NFT empire into a structured, future-focused business, and how he avoided the pitfalls that even adult entrepreneurs often fall into. The digital art market was evolving rapidly. New NFT projects popped up daily, hype cycles came and went, and investor attention was increasingly short-lived. Many creators who found early success were unable to keep up, often fading into obscurity once the novelty wore off. Liam was determined not to be one of them. From creator to operator. One of the biggest mindset shifts Liam made came from advice he received during a virtual mentorship call with a well-known crypto founder. You can be a great artist, but if you want to build a legacy, you need to become an operator, the founder told him. Liam took this advice to heart. He began documenting every part of his process, from sketching and minting to marketing and community engagement. He created checklists, templates, and timelines so that he could begin delegating tasks to a small team. With help from his parents, he hired a freelance community manager, a smart contract developer, and a part-time designer to support new projects. By age 14, Liam was no longer running everything himself, but nothing moved forward without his approval. He had become the creative director of a growing team, learning how to lead, give feedback, and set clear goals. Tech-first infrastructure. One major breakthrough was Liam's decision to build a custom website and NFT dashboard, separate from third-party platforms like OpenSea. He wanted to own the relationship with his collectors. He had seen too many creators lose momentum when a platform changed its policies or got overloaded with spam projects. By building a custom site, he could offer exclusive drops, whitelist features, loyalty rewards, and email updates, things that were hard to do on generic NFT marketplaces. The site, coded by a developer Liam met on Discord, was simple but effective. Featured a live gallery of pet bots, including rarity traits and backstories. Wallet connection for exclusive airdrops and member-only content. A blog section where Liam shared updates, sketches, and community votes. A creator profile showing his journey, interviews, and press features. The custom site gave Liam full control over the user experience. It also helped him collect valuable feedback directly from his audience, which he used to plan his next moves. Data-driven decisions. While creativity remained central, Liam learned to use data to guide his strategy. He began tracking metrics such as engagement rates in his Discord community, conversion rates from social posts to NFT purchases, time spent on his website, heat maps showing which characters or stories attracted the most interest. This information helped him refine future drops. For example, he noticed that pet bots with neon, themes, and sci-fi backstories sold faster. So, for his third major release, Petbots, Futureverse, he leaned into that aesthetic, adding deeper lore and dynamic lighting to the character designs. The collection sold out in 45 minutes. Avoiding common NFT pitfalls. Liam was also careful to avoid mistakes that had ruined other promising NFT projects. First, he didn't overpromise. Many NFT creators made bold claims about games, metaverses, or tokenomics, then failed to deliver. Liam took a different approach: underpromise, overdeliver. Each new drop came with clear, achievable benefits: access to new art, early updates, or a chance to vote on future releases. Second, he never compromised on quality. While some projects used auto-generated images, Liam continued to hand-draw every piece. This authenticity became a trademark of the Petbots brand. Third, he didn't rush. Although fans often begged for more collections, Liam stuck to a schedule. "If I can't be proud of it, I won't publish it," he told his community in a live Q&A. Education and mentorship. As Liam's success attracted global attention, schools, tech organizations, and nonprofits began reaching out to him. They wanted him to speak to students about digital creativity and entrepreneurship. Some asked him to teach online workshops. Others wanted him to mentor young artists in developing countries. Liam agreed, but with one condition: it had to be meaningful, not just PR. So he partnered with a youth education platform to create a free course called NFTs for Young Creators, a simple video series explaining the basics of blockchain, digital wallets, minting art, and protecting intellectual property. He also hosted live sessions where kids from around the world could show their work, ask questions, and get feedback. These sessions became surprisingly popular, especially among teens and preteens who didn't feel represented in the tech space. Liam's impact was now bigger than NFTs. He had become a symbol of what's possible when age is no longer a barrier to innovation. Future vision, beyond NFTs. While NFTs were the foundation, Liam wasn't stopping there. He began mapping out a broader roadmap for the Petbots universe. The plan included a graphic novel series featuring top-selling Petbots as central characters, a mobile game where Petbots battle, evolve, and earn tokenized rewards, an animation pilot to pitch to streaming platforms, partnerships with toy companies to create physical versions of the most popular characters. Each of these projects required new skills, partnerships, and investment. But Liam approached them with the same mindset that made him successful from the start. Build slowly, listen to your audience, and never forget why you started. He wasn't just riding the wave of NFTs. He was using it as a launchpad for a much bigger creative vision. Closing thoughts. At an age when most kids are figuring out middle school, Liam was figuring out how to scale a digital empire without losing his creative soul. He wasn't just lucky, he was intentional, focused, and fearless in the face of challenges most adults would find overwhelming. In the final chapter of this series, we'll uncover the untold lessons Liam learned behind the scenes, what almost made him quit, how he dealt with failure, and the habits he swears by that every young entrepreneur should know. If you're inspired by this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What would you build if you had no fear and nothing holding you back? Chapter 4: Unrevealed Secrets, Setbacks, and the Mind of a Young Entrepreneur. Behind every success story is a side the public rarely sees: the late nights, the self-doubt, and the quiet moments where giving up seems easier than pressing on. For Liam, the 13-year-old NFT prodigy who built a million-dollar empire, the path was never as effortless as the headlines made it seem. In this final chapter, we go behind the curtain. We explore the untold challenges, the personal habits that fueled his rise, and the moments that almost broke him, but instead made him stronger. The pressure to always perform. When Liam's first NFT collection went viral, it was exhilarating. But with fame came pressure to repeat success, to live up to the image the world had of him, and to never make a mistake. For a teenager who still had homework, soccer practice, and friends who didn't even know what NFTs were, the weight became overwhelming. In private, Liam admitted he nearly walked away from NFTs several times. There were days where I didn't feel creative, and people were still asking me when the next drop was coming, he said in a live stream. It felt like if I stopped for even a week, I'd be forgotten. What kept him grounded wasn't money or hype, it was his love for storytelling. Long before NFTs, Liam was a kid who loved drawing robots, imagining new worlds, and giving names to the characters in his sketchbooks. NFTs were just a new way to share that world with others. So whenever the pressure felt too intense, he went back to drawing, not for a drop or a product, but for himself. That creative reset helped him reconnect with why he started in the first place. The moment everything almost fell apart, the biggest crisis in Liam's journey came not from burnout, but from a technical glitch. During the launch of Petbots, Futureverse, a flaw in the smart contract caused dozens of users to be charged gas fees without receiving their NFTs. Twitter exploded. Discord turned chaotic. Some accused Liam of scamming, others demanded refunds, and a few trolls even targeted his family online. It was the darkest moment in his journey. But instead of hiding, Liam went live. With his dad beside him for support, he explained the mistake, owned the error, and offered immediate compensation to affected users. His developer fixed the contract within 24 hours, and Liam personally airdropped replacement NFTs along with a rare bonus to everyone who had experienced the issue. The response was overwhelming, not in hate, but in support. Most of his community stayed. Many praised his honesty, and some even said the way he handled the crisis made them trust him more. This moment taught Liam one of the most valuable lessons in business. Transparency builds loyalty, especially when things go wrong. The habits that set him apart. While Liam's story may seem extraordinary, many of his habits are surprisingly simple and replicable for anyone chasing a dream. Time blocking. Despite his age, Liam followed a strict daily schedule. Mornings were for school, afternoons for drawing, evenings for community chats and project planning. He treated his time like a CEO, not a student playing with a side hobby. Learning every day. Liam read white papers on Ethereum, watched YouTube tutorials on Web3, and followed artists and developers on Twitter to study trends. He never assumed he knew enough. Learning was part of his daily life. Asking for help. From hiring freelancers to leaning on his parents for legal and financial advice, Liam didn't try to do everything alone. He sought out people who were better at specific tasks, a sign of maturity even veteran entrepreneurs struggle with. Consistency over perfection. Not every drawing was a masterpiece. Not every post went viral. But Liam showed up consistently. That reliability built trust. With fans, collectors, and partners. Giving back. Even before he passed the $1 million mark, Liam was already donating to causes he believed in and mentoring other young artists. The best way to grow, he said, is to help others grow too. What's next for Liam? At 15 now, Liam is still just getting started. He has plans to launch a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, for young creators. He's in talks with indie game studios about turning petbots into an interactive RPG. And he's been approached by global brands about licensing deals for merchandise, animation, and even VR experiences. But his core mission hasn't changed: to prove that age is not a limit and that creativity, community, and courage can open doors no matter how young you are. In an age where technology changes weekly and attention spans are shrinking, Liam's story is a powerful reminder that lasting success isn't built on going viral. It's built on vision, values, and a willingness to keep showing up. Final takeaway. If you've followed this journey from the beginning, you've seen how a teenager turned passion into profit and sketches into a brand recognized around the world. But the real story isn't about NFTs. It's about mindset. Liam didn't wait to be chosen. He didn't ask permission. He used the tools he had, stayed curious, stayed kind, and took bold steps forward, even when the path wasn't clear. And that's the message we want to leave you with. You don't need to be a genius, a millionaire, or a coding expert to build something that matters. What you need is a reason, a routine, and a refusal to quit. So ask yourself, what would you create if you stopped waiting and just started? If Liam could do it at 13, maybe, just maybe, you can too. Like, share, and subscribe to Bold Steps Forward for more stories like this. And remember, your age, your background, your limits, they're only real if you let them be.